Today I'm sharing a newly developed. This is the image raw image model, mainly for commonly used functions. Currently, only these four functions are relatively practical. The first one is an edited folder. The second is partial redrawing. The third one is a reference image or control net. The last one is for image cleaning. Its advantage is that it is currently the fastest generation speed and the most realistic effect. Let me first give a brief introduction to this raw image model. For example, I just randomly wrote a prompt. Using this model only requires 9 steps. This can generate a very perfect one. Natural portrait. It's basically impossible to tell it's AI generated. It has a very strong sense of realism, currently the strongest. Moreover, the generation speed only takes 1 or 2 seconds to complete. Partial redraw. It's just ordinary. Just apply it to the area. Replace or change with prompt words. But it cannot be created out of thin air. It must have hair that was already there. Only. If this area is empty, it will not be generated. So please pay attention to this. It cannot be created out of thin air. The area to be redrawn must contain an object or something. For example, here is one mouse. I can replace it with a cat. But if this side is empty, it will work if you switch to a cat. This floor is quite strange. For example, I can turn it into a cat. It just can't be empty here. Therefore, everyone should know this when redrawing parts of the drawing. Then a control net was added below. Control net is a comprehensive version. Here, already deployed. It can mainly be based on line drawings. Alternatively, generate a text map or pose map. You can think of it as a raw image. Then this is a QUAN. Image, face reverse engineering prompts. The following is a very simple method deducing for the close from the image, then control based on the similarity. If you control it, it's 0.1. Then its similarity is very close. Basically the same, little change. If you want to make big changes, then you should increase it to approximately 1. The greater the magnitude of its change. Then I will introduce the others first. I'll explain in detail how to use these for workflows later. First, let me introduce the system online mirror of InkBrain Cloud. People don't mind local deployment. Simply open it and use my mirror. Update to the latest version. It can be right next to this. See image raw image under workflow. Control net reference image. Partial redrawing of the wash image. This workflow is the current workflow. Click to open. Of course, I also have some commonly used example also contains familiar latex or hypersuperflux flux context. What if the workflows flux text to high definition upscale? Another commonly used one. Workflow for modifying Chinese fonts. Because this is quite commonly used. Let me introduce myself. Other options include QUAN's editing model. Also, for example, you need to change its clone. You can use this for everything, from changing your makeup. This is its editing model. There's a R509 here. Using this will yield better results. Both of these can be used. So change clothes. You can change makeup or even your face. The outside is more commonly inside used. It's divided into video and image. There are also voice-based products. There are many video-related ones. WAN 2.2.1 or more video content, etc. Image-based video, text-based video, video redrawing, etc. There are many more images. All of the previous 300 workflows have. Everyone can try this. I have a corresponding video for each workflow. Voice-based ones are simpler. It's just a single sentence of voice cloning, or Wuyangfeng's voice, or extract the vocals and generate music, or voice changing in songs, etc. The most commonly used one is the outer one. What you see me using now is online mirror of InkBrain Cloud. So if you see that I can use it, then you can use it. Then if you want to deploy, you can open my notes, click on the ComfyUI tutorial in the navigation. It will then redirect you to the workflow location. This is the same as the mirror in ComfyUI. I put it in the image class. The first one is, say, image raw image. The names are the same. It's in the download settings. It's installation tutorial. For example, the installation and placement location of this model. What is this called? Text model. There's also a set of 3V models. All placement locations. I will also check the box for downloading. And this control net. Download location. Finally, there's a Coinbase reverse engineering prompt, node installation. There's also the model download and placement information. There are prompts here. Below there's a screenshot of the workflow inside. Screenshots of each of my workflows. The values can all be seen clearly. This makes it convenient. There's no need to run a workflow to check these values. Numerical settings. The first one is on the second is partial redrawing. Double-click to enlarge the image if it's small. Therefore, you can see this clearly. Numerical value. Below there's a CN-generated image. Finally, there's the image cleaning process. This is a workflow download. This is suitable for people who want to deploy locally. You can view my notes. Then this is where you download its model. The main model is here. G. Then this is its text model. 8G. This is a V model. Then this is where you download the control.net model. Then this is a node. Remember to like and bookmark the author's post. Coin's reverse clue works. Its advantage is that it can be reverse engineered. Chinese characters, etc. This is it. It's reverse inference prompt model. All downloads are required. This isn't my ... The notes all have annotation, how to download and how to go, which file to download and install. I've selected the boxes and then placed them in the desired location. How much should I download? It can be placed anywhere. This is also. I will select the area and then place it. This will make it easier for everyone to go. Local deployment and installation. Of course, my suggestion is to use it directly. Update to the latest version. Simply click on it here to open and use it immediately. There's no need to consider deploying these models, etc. Whether it's a model or a workflow, everything is loaded. All are already installed. Text models and Vs. Okay, now let's introduce this workflow. The first raw photo is very simple. Its advantages are very fast. It usually takes 1 or 2 seconds. Moreover, it generates a large image, and it's incredibly realistic. It basically lacks the quality of AI. The greasy feeling of AI. This model is basically non-existent. Of course, it is an uncensored model. Therefore, it can also generate similar, some uncensored images. This is something everyone should understand. Don't want. Just know that it's an uncensored model. Do not write random prompts, otherwise it will actually generate it for you. The second one is a workflow for partial redrawing. It simply adds a node that is partially redrawn. There are no other differences. One thing to note here is sometimes I might need to change. The similarity must be consistent with the original image. Then we can put it. Lower the depth. It will then be basically close to the original image. If you don't mind it, the changes need to be more significant. Then you can adjust it to 1. It completely changes. Of course, there's another trick that means you can use. This changes its potential. For example, you can lower its transparency. Apply. Is the transparency of the applied material much lower now? This is also acceptable. Change its potential. For example, lower the transparency potential. Basically, just keep this. The original hairstyle underneath remains unchanged. If you want to dive, if improved, then you should increase the transparency. Smear. This way it's applied. If generated, it is potential. It will completely improve. They don't even refer to the original image anymore. That's the idea. This is no different from the one above. There's not much to say. The other one is CN. I control that. It's CN. CN control that is now a comprehensive version. For example, I need to refer to this image to its character movements. My settings are as follows. Yes, if your value is 1, then that is the reference depth map. If it's 2, then it's a reference poster. If you fill in 1, it is the reference line. I entered 3 here to refer to the depth map. Because of this behind, I've connected them all together. Therefore, it will refer to 2. 1 is the line art. 3 is the depth map. So if the output is 3, it is a depth map reference. That's enough to know. Wanted. If you simply want to refer to its poster, then you are number 2. No need for depth map, because the depth map reference will be more. Basically the same as the original image. Keep the style exactly the same. For example, these structures and such. Then the same applies to control net. The loading location is here. It's already installed here. Its potential is also controlled by this. To make it more controllable, then you can increase this value. For example, like does it not resemble? If I increase its potential, it will be very similar. Then this one has. That is, it needs. I will proceed in order. For example, the order I've marked, my layout is basically in order, from left to right and from top to bottom. The above is the first part. The following is the next part. This involves importing the image then first. Reverse engineer the prompt words. There is an empty prompt here. You can read it or not. Sometimes you might. You need to add your own prompt word. Then you can fill it out here. This is just a reservation. Therefore, it's optional to write. Deducing the clue words in reverse is perfect. Therefore, there's no need to stack them. Manual prompts. Of course, this depends on the situation. Then this part contains prompts. This is a reverse engineering prompt. Then there is all this superimposed on this. Then output 2. The model above. Within the prompt words, there's something else to pay attention to here. There's a link here. Alternatively, you can set option 1 yourself. For example, you want to use reverse engineering then prompts. You should use 0 if you want to. So you just use manual prompts. This needs to be changed to 1. 1 refers to manually prompted words. Just pay attention to this. Generally, using 0 to deduce the prompt words is sufficient. Then I'll test it for you. It's the control of the CN. Potential settings. I can turn this off first. The advanced institute will not operate. For example, this potential 0.8 you think that's not enough. Then you can take it. Image depth map reference. Increase the intensity. It will completely refer to this. Depth map. To generation image. This is the CN model. This is a raw image model. So control here. The biggest advantage of this model is its generation. Portrait. It won't feel as greasy as AI. Very realistic and lifelike. It's almost impossible to tell that it was generated by AI. And these are some of its recent releases. Model bar. It's a complete set integrated. Raw image model plus CN model. Of course, it doesn't have an editable model. The editing model. Changing clothes or something. You can still use Juan's model editing tool. Then this is a double sampling. This will produce a better effect. You can adjust the number of steps yourself. To improve the positive effect, you can increase it slightly. But I think this is enough. Increase this potential, its other frame and details. Basically, it's a strict reference. This stepped map. Therefore, its potential is set here. Of course, for general reference, it doesn't need to be that strict. So just adjust it to 0.8. This is 1. CN reference image. Workflow. Okay, this is good. Then what's the image? Washing images is simple. Of course, this also uses a reverse engineering prompt. There is also an image magnification and its size extraction. The default setting is fine. Just use the first FPA. This allows you to deduce a very detailed curve. Then output to text. Finally, generate it. Of course, there's one here too. Set a similarity level for the image. The degree of similarity between the original image and the image. To adjust it to be a little shallower, letting the similarity. Then I can adjust to 2 and then generate. I have annotations on the degree of similarity. You can look at this. Annotation. Numbers from 0.1 to 1. The lower the number, the higher the similarity. Set this number. The default setting for this reverse prompt is also fine. It's already set up in great detail. I suggest everyone just use a direct online mirror of InkBrain Cloud. That way, we don't have to go through so much trouble. Download workflow or build it yourself or deploying these models, etc. Remember to update to the latest version. Only then can this be used. This model and this CI model. If you deploy it yourself, please pay attention to the following. Then we don't need to worry about deployment issues. Open and use immediately. The first time you run this model, it will be a little slow. It runs very fast after that. For example, this one was also very realistic, and it has a strong AI feel. But if you generate it through it, it will remove a lot of the AI feel. This value, the similarity was set to law. It will. Basically exactly the same as him, not much different from the original image. The changes are very small. So, as far as possible, adjust as needed. Worship like this, its AI feel will be greatly reduced. At once. How to put it currently in the image washing model. This is the most perfect. It will. Yeah. A type of photograph of real people. You can't tell it's generated by AI. It's very realistic. Moreover, the details are very well done. Like this AI generated one, it lacks many details. This is perfect. Then you can control the degree of similarity yourself. This solves the problem. One of the image washing function, and look at these details. Compared to other models, this was generated by the focus model. Its details are not so perfect. Moreover, it has a strong AI feel. Therefore, this model is not suitable. Generate portrait. Very strong, currently considered the strongest. Alright, go have fun, everyone.